Are you struggling to get the results that you want out of your digital marketing campaigns? Well, if you are, you're going to need to take a step back and look at your digital marketing strategy and make sure you have these 4 key points that I'm going to talk about right now. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Smart Marketing. I am your host, Jason Verdelli, and today we're going to talk about how to build a digital marketing strategy using 4 proven steps that are going to help you get results in the long term. So the first thing I want you to focus in on when you're developing a digital marketing strategy is just understanding where you're going. So the first thing you want to do is identify your business objectives. Your business objectives are high-level goals that you're trying to achieve. This might be the amount of new revenue that you need to generate, or the amount of, say, dollars you need to raise. It could be the amount of new people you need to hire. Every business is a little different. It has a different objective that you're trying to use digital marketing as a way to help drive, right? So the first thing is just to identify that and to define it. Make sure you document what that business objective is. Where are you going? Right? We all have to have that endpoint so we know how to make the roads. We know which roads to drive on in order to get there. So step number 1 is to define that. Step number 2 is to define what your key performance indicators are that are going to help you get there. So your key performance indicators are simple metrics that are supporting that end goal that can be put into, think of it like a math equation. Think, your key performance, you have your what you're trying to get to, which is the thing after the equal sign. And then you have all the variables on the left side of the equation to help you get the result, to help you solve the equation, right? So we start out as marketers, we start out knowing what it equals, right? We know that it has to equal $2 million, let's say. Well, let's look at the left side of the equation. Well, your KPIs are all those variables that are actually getting you to the end result, right? So what has to be there in order to get there? So this could be things like the volume of leads that you have coming in every month, the average customer sale, the average customer revenue, things like churn, maybe customer churn, things like things like the longevity of customers. So what's the lifetime value of that customer, right? So what you're trying to get to there with the KPIs is to work backwards. I want you to think about what are the things that have to be in place in order to get to that end result, and that will help you define that. Every business is a little different with it, but when you think about it like this, you're not pulling random metrics out of the sky. You're actually building a math equation. It's that simple. Building a set of KPIs is really not hard. Don't overthink it. So you're just building that math equation to get to the end result. The third thing I want you to do is don't feel like you have to do this on your own. I've been doing digital marketing for over 16 years now. And the one thing I've learned is that you got to do your research in just asking other companies what they have done, what's worked for them. Ask your trade association. Connect with other businesses like yours that are on LinkedIn, maybe non-competing businesses. You might be one that's serving a local market, but how many of those businesses like yours are out in, say, the whole country or the entire world? So take the time to actually ask them what's working, what's not. So you're going to be able to get solid feedback that's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of headache and a lot of time in determining what works and what doesn't work. The fourth thing you want to do to develop a very strong digital marketing strategy is to focus in on one thing at a time, right? A lot of marketing managers make the mistake of saying, okay, here's the marketing plan. We need to execute everything, right? So you have your Google Ads person, maybe you have your Facebook person, you have a person doing content, or maybe these are companies, right? You have your company or person that's doing your website. You have all these different things going on. And I'm not saying it can't go on simultaneously, but you want to think about this in terms of order and focus. So a strong digital marketing strategy will plan out when it deploys certain points in the execution of the tactics. So you might say, okay, we're going to focus in we need to target a certain type of customer. We're going to target that customer on Facebook. Well, and part of that strategy is to maybe run an engagement campaign to build a retargeting list, so people that like and comment and share the post and click from the posts are, they're engaged with your brand and they go into that retargeting list. That then you can run your lead generation campaigns. If that's the case, then you're going to want to focus in on getting that thing to work. Figuring out what type of content works. A/B test, right? Run different multivariant ads, right? Run dynamic creative. Utilize the tool sets inside of the systems that are going to get you the results, or at least give you the ability to measure what's working. And once you do that, you're going to actually focus in on it. That's going to be the thing that you're focused in on, and not spreading yourself out through these other tactics that you might be wasting your time and budget on, right? If you get that one thing to work really well, you might decide, hey, this is working really well, and our cost per lead over here is really low. So let's take a portion that I had budgeted for LinkedIn or I had budgeted for Google, because that might be more expensive, and maybe let's focus in that over here. So you need to, the point with that, when you start small, it gives you the ability to be agile when you execute that strategy, because there's times where you might need to just go all in on that one thing that's working. So the 4 key things I talked about today. Number 1 is define your business objectives. 2 is to develop a strong set of KPIs. It's an equation to get you to the end result of what you're looking for, which is that business objective. And then 3 is to do your research. Connect with people on LinkedIn, contact your trade association, ask them key questions to what's worked and what hasn't worked in your industry. And then the 4th and final thing is to focus in on executing one thing at a time, if at all possible. And when you do that, you're going to not only build a better strategy, but you can, if things don't work out the way you want them to, you can know where to fix it. Maybe you need to fix your KPIs. Maybe you need to measure different things. You need to develop a different set of KPIs. You can develop a different, you might have different business objectives that get thrown at you as a marketing manager, right? So as they do, you have step-by-step process that you can take to deploy that correctly and make sure that you're always at a point where you're returning on the investment and getting the results that the business is looking for. So with that said, if you need help with your digital marketing strategy, you need to bounce some ideas off somebody, or just need direction in general, I would love to be able to have that conversation with you. So I will put my contact information below the video here. Definitely reach out, jump on a call, and we will take it from there on that end. So if you like the video, be sure to click like, and be sure to share with all your friends, colleagues, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video.